is that you all are going to be able to write a conclusion today with a counter-argument. I will explain what a counter-argument here is in just a moment. When you write a conclusion, the first thing that you should do is always state your thesis. That should be in your conclusion somewhere to sum it up. We've known that. We've talked about that. But now a counter-argument. A counter-argument is something where you expose the flaws, the gaps, the problems with your argument. Okay? And then you prove that your point is still correct, even though that there's some flaws with it, that there still are some things that aren't perfect about the government that you chose, that in reality, your point of view is still correct, regardless of what other people may say the argument may be. So, for example, we have some girls who are doing a research argumentative paper over why our classroom should have beanbag chairs, a comfortable environment for kids to sit in. Now, there are arguments that people will say why we should not have beanbag chairs in the classroom. I want you to talk to somebody next to you and tell them what is a counter argument for having beanbag chairs in the classroom. What would a counter argument be?
They're fun. They're
A counter argument. Oh, so something that people would argue that you shouldn't have beanbag chairs because. So a counter argument.
That maybe you get too relaxed and you don't focus on your work. Yeah, and you're not supposed to be happy in school. You're supposed to be bored.
Okay. All right, let me hear a couple ideas. You guys talk for a little bit. A couple ideas. What would the counter argument? So if your claim is we should have beanbag chairs in the classroom, a counter argument would be they would take up too much space. They're a little noisy. You guys said something over here. People
They get too relaxed that they don't focus on their work.
Okay. Somebody from the other hour said that people could argue over them and just fight over them, break the beanbag chairs. There's a lot of counter arguments to the claim that we should have beanbag chairs. Now, what makes your argument even more powerful is when you acknowledge, yes, I know that this could be a problem, but my point of view, my claim is still good because, and this is what the girls said, they acknowledged all those things. Yes, it can be a problem to have beanbag chairs. But we've talked to Mrs. Dildine, and she has a plan set in place to make sure that the beanbag chairs are organized, that people get turns that's not the same people getting in the beanbag chairs every day. So they have a very strong argument now that the fact that they've acknowledged that their point may not be what everybody believes, but they still have a way to make sure that their claim or their point of view is still correct. Okay? So in dealing with your government today, if you picked a monarchy, there's going to be disadvantages to a monarchy. There's disadvantages to a democracy, a tyranny, an oligarchy. You have to find what those are. You may already know what they are and acknowledge them and say, I know this is a problem with this type of government. However, and then you say, what would your argument be against that? What would be like your rebuttal? Okay? So I have some thought prompts up here you can use. Some people may argue that you shouldn't have a monarchy because only one person makes all the decisions. You could say, however, this is still a good thing because blah, 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 blah. So you have to, in your conclusion, I want you to acknowledge the counter argument for me today. The final thing that you're going to do, because I know when you're done with that conclusion, some of you you guys all work great, you're going to get done with that fast. Then you're going to work on this paper right over here. It is a questions to ask yourself when you edit. I'm going to keep these over by the student computer, but boys and girls, I want you to go through your paper and I want you to edit these questions and put a check mark. Does it make sense? Are words missing? Do I have capital letters at the beginning of my sentence? Are my proper nouns capitalized? All of that. So check through this. Make sure that your essay is exactly how you want it to be. It's not completely done because tomorrow we're going to do a works cited page. But write your conclusion and then do this editing paper. All right? So